I've been asked if there are any options for ABS style fairway woods or metal woods. There are. You can actually flatten metal woods. The first thing you need to do is get one which has got a long hosel. I do the old tailor-made burners, and also the Titleist PTs. I can also do the drivers, the 975Ds. And I've done the 975Js as well, which is a slightly bigger version. So, like I say, the real thing that you need to do is to get one with a long hosel, so you've got a long enough bit to get the bending bar on to bend it. These ones with the little stubby short hosels, there's nothing you can do with that. One of the things I like about these PTs and the burners is there's no paint finish on them. So yes, you're going to burn them, but you can just clean most of that off. It's a bit different with the 975Ds because they've got a paint finish on them which gets absolutely trashed, so you've got to strip the paint off, so there's a lot more work involved in that. So what I've got here is, this is my setup for doing it. So I've got a blowtorch, and I've got the club held in my vise. At the back I've got a bit of leather held on there with a bit of grip tape, just to try and protect the back of the club. So I've got my bending bar, which fits, it's got a nice snug fit on the side of around the outside of the hosel. So what I do is, I don't just heat it up and then bend it, I heat it up and keep the heat on it all the time whilst I'm bending. If you don't do that, then the heat just disappears very fast and you haven't got very much time to bend, and chances are you might snap the club. Now I have snapped lots of clubs doing this, so it's not guaranteed, so I'm going to have a go at bending this club now. Okay, so we've got the blowtorch and we've got the club in the vise. So that's just the old adhesive. No, they say, well, I don't want to do this inside. Alright, so it's starting to go red there now. Yep, get nice and red. Yeah, that's about 52. Yeah, pretty happy with that. 51 degrees. Alright, so you can see the difference between before and after that. Alright, so next step, I've got my club which has been bent down flat. As you can see, it's all, the neck's all burnt there. So I've got some metal cleaner here, which I'll use to clean that up. Bit where I will, bit of cloth. So then, after I've cleaned it up, I've already cut my shaft here, which I've tipped. I've cut it, done all the trimming off the tip, and I've cut everything all the way. They say this is the next step, so that's as far as I can go before I hit the next step, which means it won't go into the hosel. So that's literally as stiff as I can go. So I've roughened up the tip, stick the ferrule on. So there we go. So we're literally right up to the first step. So what I'm going to do, clean the hosel up. Clean the hosel up, but before I do that, what I'm going to do is, before I glue the head on, I'm going to mix some tungsten powder, or lead powder rather. I'm going to mix some lead powder in with some epoxy, and I'm going to stick it down the hole, fill the end of the hole up to bring the swing weight up. Probably get maybe, I don't know, 8 grams, something like that. You don't really want to be going any more than 10, otherwise you start to affect the balance of the club. So that's the next step. Alright, so that head's cleaned up quite nicely there with a bit of auto polish and a bit of wire wool and a bit of spit and polish. Right, so I'm going to mix some epoxy. I'm going to do 2 lots of epoxy, one for mixing with the tungsten powder and one for actually gluing the shaft in. Right, so it was 218, now 224. That's pretty much all we're going to get though. Right, so separate pile of epoxy here, I'm taking the exact same stuff. Right, let's glue the shaft in. So probably going to come squeezing back out. Right, so I'm just going to leave that overnight. Now, tomorrow, because I've cut so much off the tip, it's actually going to be too short, so I'm going to have to fit an extender. So we'll do that tomorrow. Right, so I'm going to make a shaft extender now. So I've got another shaft here, which I think I pulled out the bin at the golf club. Slide that down inside the shaft until you hit the step where it won't go down any further. Mark it up. Okay, allow a couple of inches to go down inside the shaft, so mark it up there. So I'll cut that here, roughen this section up so I can epoxy it inside the shaft. Okay, so I've epoxied in the shaft extender, cut it down to length. Fitted a grip, so the club is pretty much ready to play. I've turned down and polished the ferrule. It's all nice and neat. I mean, the head, you can't really even tell that I've done anything to the club, to be honest. Looks pretty good. So 51 degrees, it's 14 ounces, swing weight E0, and as stiff as you can go with one of these shafts. So ready to go to the course.